Live streaming is on.
Oh, welcome everybody to this Dandelion governance meeting, where we talk about everything Dandelion and bring servers and APIs and stuff. And this is the agenda of April 8th, and we've been going on milestone 2, bringing up more Dandelion nodes with Ratio and Sudo, and Quasar is also building one. So in the coming weeks, we'll have 3 extra DNOs. Amazing.
Amazing. So
Uh,
four from the US. I said, sorry, 3 from the US. I said 2. But yeah, Sudo also, of course.
Yeah, Sudo is almost ready with mainnet.
And
Wow.
we should
come
hit
on.
that by the end of today.
Yeah, it gets slower if you go, later. So that's a bit annoying.
Oh, I know.
The more you check, the slower it gets.
Yeah.
It's
I'll get back to you next week.
Yeah.
How
We
long?
will put it on the agenda. 99% Sudo.
How long did it take, Pseudo? Or up to where you're at now?
This has been about 5.5 days.
It's long, man.
Wow.
But you have taking breaks, I heard.
Yeah, so I'm doing backups a little bit differently. I'm managing it on the hypervisor, so I'm not doing backups there. So I had to interrupt it at what I thought was a good checkpoint for me to snapshot at that point. But in the hypervisor, so I had to interrupt the process and then restart it. Yeah, so there was a few interruptions, but yeah, it's still probably going to take you close to about a week.
Yeah, I need to change the Docker the Docker path. I guess the startup path for the Docker or for Docker. So I have to bring it down again too.
remember unless something is wrong with the scripts, all that Docker setup, actually Podman setup, it's being solved by the scripts. But yeah, any feedback there, guys? It's welcome. If
Yeah.
The issue I have is that it's not using the OS drive it's using the root drive instead of the 2 terabyte drive that is specifically for this to operate on, because the 2 terabytes a faster drive and I have the slower one as my OS drive.
What I would recommend, Ratio, is maybe moving the volumes you've already started to the drive, because you can preserve everything that you've done here just by moving the volumes that Podman has created. And yeah, you'll just be able to, you won't lose any of the progress that you've made.
Gotcha. And then just change the change the path for the.
I think all Docker stores its stuff in var lib something. So if you go in your apps tab and you mount var on a different drive, and then copy all the data from that folder there using the -p. So if you do cp -p, you preserve all your file permissions. So be aware of that. Then it should be identical. So if you then start everything up, at least Docker shouldn't know. It would be very strange if something is different. Maybe symlinks or stuff that will be breaking. I hope not, but you never know.
There was I don't remember if it was Describe or one of these options for the command line tool for Docker that lists you a lot of information, and there you can see some paths regarding where are the volumes stored and everything. But I don't remember if it was like Docker Describe. I mean, in this case, maybe Podman Describe, or that was Docker Compose, because also I don't know if Compose is doing something else. I guess not, but maybe. I guess not. It's more a Docker thing. Yeah. Well, just throwing ideas.
Well, the worst case scenario, I could use like carbon copy cloner and just make or something similar for Linux, and then just do a direct copy of the 1 terabyte drive and turn that into the whatever I got to do to turn that into the root drive. Then I wouldn't have to worry with Docker, but then I still got to make sure that everything else is correct on there.
That's a good one. A practical one at the end. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I do that.
Yeah, we've been using glances to check if the system was running well, and yeah, we had some issues where swap space was large, so was running at 100%. So I helped Ratio this morning increase his swap size to, I think, 40 gigabytes. It's very large, but that's for me. That's an amount which doesn't fill up easily. So yeah, I've added this information also to the documentation. So Adriana, if it goes about documentation, I just commit directly in GitHub, because I don't want to do the whole GitHub sync blah blah stuff. Just because it's just a text file, it doesn't hurt anything. I'm not making pull requests or editing, because it just gets lost. Is my experience. If it goes about the editing the README, just do it straight into mainnet.
Okay. Maybe do it in big batches so we can just avoid having like a trillion commits with small things. Maybe just pack a big change regarding docs and just push it. Also for adding 2 cents. But yeah, Martin. Okay, it's like it.
But
So,
if you do that,
sorry, but I'm a person that I prefer not to be too formal with things versus being practical and making things happen. So yeah, it's if this works, it's governance. That's it.
yeah, I have to do it, and if I would have to maintain a separate repo or a branch, I mean, it will just get stale, lost, and it's unmaintainable that way. I don't think that will work. So that's I will keep doing it like this, because otherwise it will just not get done, and people will be confused.
You are also a maintainer there, so it makes sense. So don't worry. It's okay.
It's
okay.
just I'm saying how I'm doing my process.
Okay.
Yeah, Q has hardware. We have distributed some funds for Q, and also Ratio has bought new hardware. So yeah, we have to do something for everybody. As we discussed, sudo is also syncing mainnet. I have updated already my administration panel. Uh-oh. Maybe somebody found the button. I don't know. The Dandelion data is gone. Uh-oh. Shit.
What?
Yeah, there's some configuration. I can delete stuff. So that's added. But there's no security on the site yet. So maybe somebody found the button. I hope not. Or I pressed the button wrong. Or there's something with the site which I did wrong. I have to check it.
Okay. Yeah, for the funny ones, bothering with the systems while we are working on them. Thank you.
So yeah, I think I have backups of the data, so that's not a problem. You could not log in anyway, so it's still a work in progress. This is a shame, man. I'm kind of disappointed. maybe it's something else. Maybe there's another problem. Is it just not getting? Oh, cross origin request. GraphQL is not available. Interesting.
To put everyone in context, I woke up this morning with everything in a weird state. Not sure if it was, I don't know, a Cardano thing, like having a lot of load, especially on mainnet. But yeah, my two nodes were a bit affected. Still responsive, both of them, which is weird, but especially Approxy SSH was like not working. Did not have any other issue, but the nodes were not working properly. And it's not new hardware, so it's easy to make it like overload. And so yeah, thanks Radio for letting me know. Thank you. Don't apologize. It's great to have a community that let us know all the times when things are not right. It's part of this effort, like with Martin, everybody working here now, you guys. It's not like a cloud hosting service where everything is automated, centralized, is easy to coordinate. Decentralization has its costs, right? But at the end, it will be great. We're just growing.
Yeah, I have a problem. I think my drive is full for some reason. It's not great. So, of course, we copied, like we changed my mainnet. Maybe that's where I duplicated some data. So I have to check how I'll get that stuff up and running again. Strangely, everything still works, but apparently this doesn't. So I have some work to do, but I had also some other work lately, so it's kind of busy. And now, juggling too many objects at the same time. Ratio was working on some NFTs. Also, login was not fixed yet. Working on it. I'm planning to distribute for the first DNOs. I'm planning to distribute NFTs, and I wanted to show my fund distribution panel. I can still do that maybe. If I go into the development version.
So real quick, the NFT is still on track for the 2 weeks from the time that of the coordination between you, Martin, myself, and the artist.
Oh, you checked with her and she was okay?
I did, yes.
Cool. Oh, I have to update some images. Is that going quick? Let's see. Probably. Okay. Does it start building again? Yeah. It will start building image. Well, it's fine. Maintenance. I've been working on the testnet. Adriano, what you've seen, that I fixed pre-production syncing, at least temporarily, or a quick fix. What you've seen, I cloned the testnet IOHK GitHub, and there are some tokens in there that confuse the token registry server from Cardano Foundation. So,
Okay. So, but the default. This is the thing that I did not get from the last call. So the default M file that is on the repo was I mean, I know it was failing, but it was failing even with this official deployment of them.
Yes, if I tested the Cardano Foundation GitHub, so not outside of Dandelion, outside of everything, and then I did the same thing, and it was still giving those errors.
But I mean, there is a link. Can you go to the repo? Do you have the repo there? If it's because I remember that I think I like disconnected the local token registry on the pre-prod M file, and replace
Yes.
it. I mean, pointed to use the online, the public deployment they were running. I think
Yeah.
it was
I
a
think
IOG.
you set sync job to false.
Also, I think it was. Let me see. There was a name for the owner of the repo that also you.
Yeah. It's
you
somewhere.
Yeah.
Where is that? Damn it.
It was on the end, on the end
Yeah.
file.
No, they there's this maybe if I think Dandelion does it more straightforward. That's how they confuse you. Because you have I actually copied it even in my agenda. Look, you have this this organization, and if you this is your GitHub repository name, and this is the fork you make, and this is the folder inside the fork. So it's a little confusing because they could have just said GitHub link, and that would be it.
That's the thing. I've just remembered. One thing is how you point to the token registry service, local service, to to pull from the right repo on GitHub. But
Yeah.
another thing is Cardano GraphQL URL for connecting the GraphQL background service to registry. That one on pre-prod, I think, was pointing to the official pre-prod deployment, and that's how I fixed the bug that burned my M2 drive. Can you check that? Like on the M file, it was something like GraphQL, underscore or something.
So you're not pointing to this metadata server.
Yeah, yes, and that's pre-prod, but it's commented out.
But it's commented out.
But it was on the repo. Maybe I don't know, something changed, and I pointed back to the local. Okay, but just in cases, I just remember that there was a way just to. I mean, remember that historically GraphQL was always pointing to these official public, services. But the thing is that there is a bottleneck there, and made everything super slow. So when the token registry was available for deploying locally, we started doing that. But yeah, it has some bugs.
It is because this Cardano GraphQL background service is just hammering that server. So that's why it doesn't work.
Exactly, but just in cases, remember that you have also that that alternative, that solution, just in case if everything goes super south. Um, remember that.
Because this is uncommented, and I think it will not perform anyway. We could even copy the registry folder for the tokens into Dandelion itself, just thinking about solutions, because it's only looking for the folder with files. We could maintain our own metadata registry folder if we wanted to. And it is only for testing. So people could work with their own testing environment, and it would be very convenient, because I'm just saying some stuff. We could put M2 tag there. I'm not so in favor of changing line uncommenting 110, because then we're very slow probably. I think that metadata world dev org metadata doesn't have those tokens I'm talking about.
The only thing is that you will have to keep pulling and keep that fork up to date with the official one, because people will not be able to test. The usual use case for that.
If they use Dandelion, they can.
But no, because they will be pushing on the official repository, and you will have to automate. I mean, if we automate this, it's okay, but it's not like a crazy thing to do. Maybe it's too much work. Keep in mind that the token registry for pre-prod the main purpose is for testing. Like, people adjust decimals there, run their own tests, and then when they are ready, they jump into mainnet. In theory, that was the idea. So people will be expecting to, for example, make a pull request there, that repo, to register token metadata, and right away they will be trying out on pre-prod if those changes are okay. So it should be like a fast process if you're going to be doing something like you're mentioning.
I'm just checking, but recently there still have been tokens added. I mean, I'm just saying this is an easy route to make it at least work, because now it doesn't work, and people cannot even test now with our system. So forking the repository is the easiest. You could, for instance, ask the Cardano Foundation why this occurred, or if this is a bug for their side, or maybe it's their position that these files should be removed. The spec is outdated.
I think the best thing to do is to just make an issue, and an issue there on GitHub. Like, if they don't fix the official, the official project, and there is a bug there, it's not ideal. And it's a very important piece for, well, we have been talking, what I'm saying. Like, token registry is a very sensitive thing. It's not just another service.
There's no issue regarding this error. It's very odd.
It has not much activity, which for me is weird.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. I don't know what else people is using. Maybe BlockFrost has this incorporated in such a way that even BlockFrost maybe is not using this. I'm not sure. And maybe BlockFrost is the most used API on Cardano nowadays.
Maybe there's a different service we don't even know about. It could also be. Maybe it's replaced by something we don't even know about. I don't know.
If somebody knows about this, please let us know. Really.
That's request for information.
Yeah.
I mean, this is very dangerous, because if there is not a central point of consensus, I know that seems a little contradictory, but of what the decimal points are, DeFi is unfunctional. right? And if we have a repo that says, keep in mind, these are off-chain mechanisms that are determining where the decimal point of a specific token exists. This is just a huge flaw on how we created tokens. Like,
I
we
think
should have
so.
always declared you are minting in the indivisible aspect. So, like, you're minting in the Lovelace of whatever your token is. So, if you want a divisible currency, well, you have to mint in its indivisible aspect, and that's an abstraction that you create, right? Oh, that one whatever token is 100 million whatever things, but like the very fact that we created the need to determine where this the decimal is a huge terrible thing. And now
It's a
that
little.
the CF and IO aren't going to maintain these things, this is a terrible thing. We need to tell them to fix it, because if they are not a central authority on what the decimal is, you're opening it up for a billion people to have their own local repos, and this is not functional for anything that we would need blockchain for, I think.
Totally agree. Totally agree. You're right, Sudo. First, I think having off-chain information, as critical as this, we are excited the idea of having too much stuff off-chain. I think this is very critical. And on the other side, even not even talking about the fact that anybody can tamper their own version of this. Even the idea of hacks that can happen, or just to cause damage on the ecosystem in large scale. It's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah. Imagine the the most obvious thing, like a stable coin, like tampering with the decimals there. Imagine that. So yeah, well, this is I was discussing this a lot with Martin. We had a very long call the other day, and yeah, I was like panicking with this all these issues, because issues that at what extent we should be dealing with, like if we are not maintaining this official information, official services. Yeah, it's I don't know how much burden should we take on this regarding responsibility, if these kind of things are, first, something accepted on our ecosystem, and two, something that everybody is relying on. Yeah.
Look, Adriano, this is the error message.
Can you zoom?
Unrecognized field.
Can you zoom in a bit, please? Not also for me, but for everybody watching. Thank you, Martin.
Unrecognized field, AN signatures. Not marked as ignorable.
And this version is the latest, right?
Yeah, this is on version 1.02. But
Okay.
you were having this issue, and I checked it with 1.02, and it's having this issue.
Yeah, yes, quite. We agree.
So yeah.
And have you checked the logs on mainnet? We are not having the same situation on mainnet.
If I go to the to the registry of testnet, it's there's a bunch of these ones, and I think one of the first. There's the nice coin version. Look, this is a totally different structure than all the others. It has pre-image and AN signature, and like if you if you look at a normal one, these are all the same. Like it's a huge list of, and they have an extra sequence number. I don't know why garbage in there, but I mean, this is from long ago, 4 years ago, when they first made tokens. Somebody created this whole list of, basically identical nice coin. So Mr. Sevens Powell, he got kind of enthusiastic. I don't know.
So you're kind of, I mean, you're saying like this thing was on the early days and then it stopped, like using this weird field that seems not into the spec. Because I was thinking the otherwise, like maybe there was, an upgrade on the CIP defining these fields, and maybe, yeah, some tooling is not up to date with the CIP. Maybe, I don't know. Also, to be honest, I don't know the process on how these commits are being merged there.
Yeah, but the commits are still coming. So yeah. Hey, Sudo, you are a little bit more in the governance stuff, and maybe some more people are in Quasar. Can you please ask around that we are not wasting our time? Maybe there's a very simple solution which we just don't know about because we don't talk to other developers enough.
I think is just one thing in my coding and everything that I've realized is people are underutilizing the chain so much. Man. Like we are like just using basic level transactions on here. This issue that we've come up with should have been discovered months ago. What does this tell you? That people really aren't using the test net to test the tokens in this manner. They might be testing aspects. They are not using the token registry to test the decimal points. Very clearly that people aren't testing in this manner because they would have already ran into this issue. So what people are using testnet for is kind of now what a question that I have, right? So the problem is I don't think people are in this space building the things to reveal the problems that we have. This is why we're barely figuring all of this out now. I think what we need to do is push a movement to these people and then have them look into it, because I don't even think it's two things, and you've identified it already. Either this is part of a motive that they have, that like this is a stance and we just don't want to maintain this or whatever, or they're just not aware of it or don't care, right? Like it's one of those two things. And we kind of need to push them in a corner and figure out which one of them it is. Like, hey, are you going to maintain this or not? But like, I think the main issue is that people just don't have eyes on this level of the tech, like, utilizing it to reveal these issues in the first place. So yeah, I mean, we'll put the word out, but man, I think just so many people are just not even building in this kind of way.
Yeah, but maybe because everybody is running into this stupid stuff. Yeah.
Also, remember, guys, that Roberto, the creator of Dandelion, he ended up making his own token registry service for like more than a year. I guess that ran like for 2 years, something like that. And I don't remember the exact explanation behind his decision, but I bet it was something like this. So this is not new. This is not new. That's the thing. I mean, probably this is not new. And in general terms, yeah, people is not using probably pre-prod enough or testnets enough, and they should. Then also, once again, for me, the most critical thing to analyze, to think about, is our fascination for off-chain information. Why don't we just shut down Cardano then and run it to thing?
I love off-chain information. I love, it's like a treasure hunt.
I love Cardano. Please don't, everybody listening there, like, please, come on. I left everything for this space. We are to, to turn 4 years old with this project. We're putting salt here. The thing is that, we are one of I think one of the crowds here on Cardano that most criticizes this off-chain fascination. I'm not saying putting everything on chain, of course not, but there are some critical things that if you don't put on chain in a safe way, you're gambling. So yeah,
I totally agree.
I
But
will
you know,
sneak and I will say GCFS.
I will say that this seems to be the day and age where we're talking about blockchain as a service being a more common thing. You have Block Frost kind of trying to go the Dandelion route. So it just really seems that there's a huge need for more service layer on the blockchain. And I think the eyes on these kind of problems, there's going to be more eyes on these types of problems. So this is absolutely the time to start try to figure out these solutions, because we have other people hosting this architecture and everything. Maybe we have a say on what these standards are in the future. And I think coming into a SIP proposal, maybe for how we do this integers, like we said, like everything's a Lovelace kind of concept. Like you can only an indivisible asset, right? I think that's just like a simple, elegant solution. We need to figure that out. But point being is the ethos and the things that we're working towards here in Dandelion is kind of conducive to what we're doing anyway. So I think this is a time where we'll figure it out. It's a shame it take this long, but we're here and it's happening. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
Well, I just went ahead and did it while you talked. So maybe they will flame my ass for not testing it or whatever. But at least we get also some information from these guys.
I'll show
Also,
support.
can you mention that all these error logs once burned one M2 drive, 2 terabyte M2 drive?
If they are how do you say, admitting to creating this error, we will invoice the drive.
No, boys. And I'm not complaining. Maybe my issue was not, making a GitHub issue that I had not enough time there, because I lost suddenly one node, guys. Maybe Martin, we were not having yours yet. So what? I had no time. But yeah, that's on me. But it was terrible. When I realized the issue, it was too late.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm also it should just work. It's my point of view. Well, maybe somebody will answer, maybe somebody will not, and otherwise, maybe this is something governance action. Sounds like governance to me. If nobody wants to take action, we should force people.
Confidence on the CF. Wait, it doesn't work that way, does it?
Let's put some ADA. I can put like 15 ADA for proposing the governance action. Can you guys put your share? How much is needed?
Yeah. I will also put up 15 ADA, guys.
Do they have a way where you can pull funds for governance submissions?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we can use Twitter or something.
The way this should be done is with a huge multisig.
Right.
Between the whales, the treasure. I mean the funds of maybe the entities. So then you can just coordinate a huge multi-sig event to just I don't know.
Which, man, this is what we need, right? We're talking about how DREPs will form coalitions to pass these actions, or just to get the proposals out, right? How many of us don't have access to that much data? So yeah, I mean, having a mechanism to have coalitions form contracts, right? And then like all the participants' contributions are tracked, and then those people can then withdraw that amount later, right? So that'd be a cool future game changer. I think we can do that there with just using the Helios scripting, which Adriano, I need to pick your brain really, really badly on integrating Helios contracts into Game Changer, because I think I got my contract right. I compiled the contract. I have Seaboard. And I just cannot get the datum, or when I go into Game Changer, I get a message that's like empty. It's like an error message, but it's blank.
Gabe,
And I'm like,
this is an awesome promo for the upcoming stream that we should launch after this one.
okay,
Martin,
yeah.
Martin, are you ready? Are we done with Dandelion? Should I stop this and run a new stream?
Yeah. Last thing is I have now a handle on all the fields to get the asset view working, and yeah, I made that metadata hash work, which is a hash of an object hash of a JavaScript thing object with an additional item which is called what is optional fields, something to do with JSON validation. So yeah, if I wouldn't have caught that, I would have never been able to reproduce the hash. So yeah, I can do that now. But before I needed to, have the token registry working. So, the journey I've been on to get this metadata hash out. So I have now all the fields have been amazing. But yeah, I think we'll be annoying people around Cardano with this, and maybe we can solve some issues, or maybe we can get wiser and write them down in the repository in our README, like Cardano is broken. You do this. We could import our own registry in Dandelion, and then if you're testing, doesn't matter. I mean, you can configure your own tokens and use them right away, which is even faster than using IOHK. You wouldn't have to commit to Git.
I think Martin has been putting a lot of time on this. Thank you for your efforts. You're spotting probably things that maybe are going to be super useful for the CF maintainers there. But beyond that, idea of optimizing this GraphQL background service by just replacing it, and the thing of the work there on as a view, dealing that with that table as a view, that Postgres table. I think if some of this stuff ended up reaching these guys, probably
Coming
to pull some strings, but come on, that would be great. I see
I think theoretically, maybe if you would be able to create that object hash inside Postgres with maybe PL functions, you would completely delete the background service. Delete it.
I bet you can. Ask ChatGPT. Maybe there is a very complex function there. Of course, we have to test properly. But to develop,
I'm waiting for it, but I had a busy job building frames. Like
I think there is a crypto library
This
that
is
you can
my
install with Postgres. It's not directly in it, but yeah, with some custom functions that we can create, man, so much of this can be directly in Postgres. Like,
hashing, and serialization are things that are there on Postgres since ages. We can, I mean, I bet you have all the tools needed, unless there is a lot of weird logic in place, very JavaScript specific things going on that library.
I know it could be that the library just organizes it in such a way that the object is always stable. That's why it's called an object hash. But if that is standardized, I hope so. So yeah, I'm jumping for time to finish this one because I have puzzle pieces. So to just delete, and then
Martin,
Gabe,
how
you
does
will go from a 5-day sync to a 2.5-day sync.
right? How do you go from getting a flat tire to having to re-engineer the car?
Yeah, that's my story of my life. I don't know.
No, that's great. It's not an insult. It was like amazing, actually. It's like,
Yeah.
man, like we're trying to fix the flat tire and realize, oh man, this whole car is messed up. Like we need to scrap this whole thing.
Frame rails are rotten. I need to replace all the rust. And that's what I like to watch on YouTube, by the way, as well. So they get a very old Mustang and then they make it brand new, which is what I like. So I don't complain. Maybe I'm happy that they made it so terrible.
Don't say that. You're you're being streamed right now.
I know. Yeah, that's why I don't like it, because I have my. I mean that as a joke, guys.
Now, the nice thing about Martin is that he needs to understand. So that, I think that's the key thing that drives him to even think of why the wheel has to be a circle. Why not a square? Why not a triangle? So
it's
just
possible
goes back until
if you
he
make
can build the same thing to analyze it.
if you make the road not flat, you can use a square just as well.
But guys, Martin, is there anything else with Dandelion? I mean, there is a lot to talk.
No, this is it.
I'm not sure if we should make longer these sessions or split it, like governance and tech, maybe. Because sometimes we should spend a lot of time, like what you did yesterday, but maybe we can schedule that. Thanks, guys, for doing that. I miss it. Thank you. That install party yesterday. Well, should we jump into the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, Gabe. Then we will talk. Just in, I don't know, 2-3 minutes. Let me close this and set up the new stream. Okay, guys. See you here soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.